What's up, guys? It's your boy Aloe. We're back on the banner, guys, and today we're gonna go over all the units in All-Star Tower Defense and ranking them all based on how good they are into the different modes. So let's get right into it, guys. Starting off with the D tier, guys. So these are the units that you might have just from like playing the game a long time ago, or like some of them might still be in the banner, but these are really bad units. So you either use them to evolve into 6 stars, trade them for better units, or whatever. You can get a few story modes done with these guys, but that's about it. Maybe get to wave 30, 40 in infinite mode. So some highlights on here, guys, is Kaido drip unit, but other than that, all the units here are pretty bad, guys. Don't recommend it unless you're trying to use them to evolve into a 6-star. So moving right along, guys, to the next tier, B tier, guys. Skipping along a little bit here. So Light Yagami, guys, he's in the B tier. Ryan, Conan, Aqua, these units are also in the B tier. Now, these are great units to have, guys. Definitely can get pretty far in infinite mode. I'd say 60, maybe 70 if you're lucky. Some highlights that I recommend picking up are, I think Conan's a good pick. If you already have Conan, definitely level up to level 80. She's really nice. And anybody else in here that's really good? I think Trunks with the Orb is pretty decent. A lot of these units are decent overall, but they're just not good enough to get you like higher waves or good enough for extreme mode. So yeah, this is the B tier, guys. So moving right along to the next tier, guys, we got the A tier, guys. Now these are the pro units that you are going to want to use, guys. Now Todoroki, in my opinion, might be the best out of this because you can use him for pretty much every mode. He's decent for infinite mode because of his burn. He could do like 300 damage per hit, 300,000 damage per hit with our own buff. And like he also has the freeze effect, so he's really great for story mode as well. So definitely highly recommend you guys pick him up if you can. Next up in the list, guys, we got Vegito and Gotenks. These units are pretty much identical. Vegito has a slight edge. They're great for getting you a little bit of damage for damage farming, as well as decent overall for story mode and infinite mode. Now, the nice thing about these units, guys, is they are really cheap compared to some of the S tier units. So you can bring multiples of them, and maybe that's going to get you over the edge of something else, or maybe not. Next up, guys, we have Gogeta. Now, Gogeta is great because he has good synergy with Vegito, because you can just use both, and he's really, really cheap, guys. So he's great for Trial 3, etc. Next up, guys, we have Ryuk. I believe Ryuk is just a better version of Light Yagami from the showcase I've seen. Definitely decent for damage farming, but like you want to get Light Yagami 6-star for anything else. And he is, I think, pretty cheap as well to place. Next up, we have Guts. Now, Guts does have the highest DPS out of any of the A tier units. However, that may be... yeah, I think he does have the highest. However, the problem with him, guys, is you can only really have a few placed to max out the burn effect, and his cooldown of 17 is just so dang high that like odds are he'll miss some of the units, so it's not that great. Next up, guys, we have Genos. Genos is really good. He's basically a better version of Conan, and I believe Aizen is also a better version of Conan as well. That's the Hog Aizen. Now the normal Aizen is also good, but Hog, I think it's actually for Hollow Aizen, whatever, like intelligence mode, angry mode, and normal. They just have higher damage overall, so good for that. Next up, guys, we have Ace. After the Ace buff, Ace is actually even better now. So he has another upgrade, so it makes him a little bit better for infinite mode. I think Sabo is slightly better than Ace in infinite mode. However, Ace has more utility in like Trial 3. So that's why I ranked Ace higher, guys, if you're wondering. Next up, guys, we have Bird Magician, who's also really good compared to Conan because he becomes like Nidoro, and he's pretty cheap. So definitely highly recommend him. Next up, we have Chrollo. Now, Chrollo is kind of underrated. He's really good for a lot of modes. And he's not too expensive overall. And because he has Bleed on his first upgrade, if you give him the Fire Orb or the Blue Eye Orb, he can really be a good unit for extreme mode. So highly recommend you guys take a look at Chrollo. And plus, he's pretty easy to get through trades right now. Next up, guys, we have Crocodile. Crocodile is, oh man, they kind of did him a little bit dirty, but I believe he's actually better than Conan, though. So that's kind of what he has going for him. Next up, we have Dio, which is just a time stop unit, and then Sabo. Now, Sabo is good, but the problem is I just feel like you might as well go for a different unit in most modes. Because his single target is just slow enough that it misses more units, and he's just so expensive that it doesn't make him as good for story mode. That's why I ranked him a little bit lower. Next up, we have Blue Goku Rose, also a great unit. I believe somebody solo Trial 2 with him, so definitely check him out. And then we have the Jotaros. I don't really think any of the Time Stoppers are better than the others. I don't even know which one's cheaper, but Dio's pretty nice. I think Dio is the cheapest Time Stop, so that's why I put him up there. However, if you're looking for an extra DPS, Jotaro 6-star would be good as well. And then Jotaro 5-star at the end. Kirito, I ranked him kind of low on this list. While he is a really good unit and better than God Goku in most cases, and he's not that expensive anymore, they're just better units like Vegito out there. Next up, we have what's his face? The guy with the toad hat, Law Trafalgar. He's a really great unit as well, guys. Definitely highly recommend him. He might be meta for Infinite Mode, but I don't quite know about that yet. Just because his ability is kind of hampered, and I feel like they nerfed it a little bit. It would have been a great ability, but like it doesn't teleport enough units for it to be valuable. It has like a unit cap, whereas Time Stop does not. Next up, we have Broly with the Broly Orb. Give him a little bit extra damage, which makes him a little bit interesting for Infinite Mode. I kind of want to try him out again in Infinite Mode. Next up, guys, we have Mihawk. Really cheap unit, at least Infinite Mode wise, and you could probably get away with using him in story with his DPS and crazy range. Rengoku, guys, is in A tier pretty much solely because he's really useful for Challenge 1 to get the Fire Rage Orb, which is also a very good orb to put on Kakashi, which allows you to basically get Ichigo, which is an S tier unit. So basically, he's not required to get S tier units, but he's very much useful for that. And lastly, we have God Goku, mainly because there's like I just feel like he's not that great anymore for story. He's terrible for story, and like for Infinite Mode wise, you might as well equip Gotenks instead of sacrificing 2 slots for Vegito, and then maybe equip something else. So, next up, guys, we have in the S tier, we got the best units in the game, guys. We got, of course, we got the Golden Ape. These, I mean, not quite the best units, but some of the best units. We got Golden Ape. We got Luffy 6-star. Really cheap unit with high DPS. Great for story mode. Kakashi, great for challenge modes. Blackbeard, you don't need him for Infinite Mode, but he's like leaderboards, but he is great for story mode, challenge mode, dungeon mode, whatever. Then we have my boy Sukuna. They keep buffing him, but bro, the buff is never enough. However, he has really high damage, which really makes him great. A little not too bad for damage farming, considering how easy it is to get, as well as pretty much meta for farm mode extreme, as well as extreme modes, and really good for dungeon as well. And then we have all the farm units, guys. These are all great units to have. Now, I have mine, as Mike says, you need all of them equipped maybe for leaderboards to get extra Lyogni. So hey, maybe you need them all 3, and maybe even all 4 Nami. And we have Merlin and Gilgamesh to round out the S tier. Great units, you guys already know they do. Next up, guys, we have the C tier. These units are decent units. I'm not gonna go over all of them. Definitely go check them out. If you can, if you have enough gems to waste, but they're not like meta or anything, but I guess they're pretty cool. Or if you just came back from a long time, these units are still useful. Rukia got a buff, though I'm not entirely sure what it is, but these units are all pretty decent. You can get story mode, etc. I put Tanjiro in here because he's not that great for the mode he's supposed to be meant for, which is challenge 1. I just never found him that useful for that. The rest of the units, some of them used to be part of the meta back in the day, and yeah, this is 5-star Bjorn and not 6-star. But nowadays, they're just kind of outpaced. Most of these units could use an orb. In fact, I'd probably say all these units could use an orb. Next up, guys, and the last ones, we got the S+ tier units, guys. This is the leaderboard meta right here. Definitely, you might want to equip more farm units or as many farm units as you can. But other than that, guys, these are all the units you will probably need to get to the meta. You want to either have Light Yagami or Naruto, a bunch of farm units, and then, of course, the support units like Time Stops, etc. So there you go, guys. Those are all the S+ tier units. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list, and make sure you guys drop a like, and let me know if you thought anything was incorrect in this, and I'll catch you on the next one, boys. Blam Spot out, yo, peace.